For Red, White, and Bro and the SEC winning and boozing article, we are going to do a video blog because, fun fact, apparently people don't like reading anymore. So here's a video with my giant face saying some of the more offensive things that I already wrote in the article, but saying them out loud. So you're welcome. For the season, I believe we're 65-13 straight up, and then 36-35 against the spread. So not great. Pretty just run-of-the-mill mediocre, but still one game over 500. We're going to break up Rivalry Week into two parts this week because there's 9 games, and I just have so much hate in my heart for Auburn that I can't wait to let out in part 2. So, first game, Kentucky's at Louisville. Louisville is a 26-point favorite. I'm not an SEC homer at all. Like, I don't pull for anyone in this conference besides Alabama because it doesn't help my team. I don't see how Louisville would cover 26 points against Kentucky. They got beat last week like a drum at Houston. And Lamar Jackson was sacked 11 times. If you would have told me going into this year in 2016 that Donald Trump would be president, Kentucky would be one of the better teams in the SEC East, and then Lamar Jackson would be sacked 11 times, I would have bet any amount of money you were wrong. But that's the world we live in today, guys, huh? What a time to be alive. Sacking Lamar Jackson once is impressive. 11 times is fucking near impossible. That's like, I don't know, getting a greased watermelon out of a pool and then taking a selfie with Bigfoot while you're both sneezing with your eyes open. It's fucking impossible. It shouldn't be hard to motivate Louisville. I think 26 points is ridiculous, but it should be hard to motivate them after that loss, especially going into rivalry week. Most coaches will be able to do that. However, most coaches aren't the just giant bag of shit that Bobby Petrino is, who doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself. So I just feel like this past week, there probably wasn't a lot of motivating or like him taking the blame for anything. It was probably just shaming his players, like while he thumbed through the classified section, looking for a new job at Texas, Oregon, LSU, wherever else. Because that's the kind of person he is. He's a shitty person. Like he looks like every single husband I've ever seen yell at his wife in public. Just like that burnt red skin, like always wearing a visor and like Oakley sunglasses. Like he looks like he's constantly outside of an Old Navy or TGI Fridays screaming at some woman named Trish because she burned the meatloaf. That's really the only reason to pay attention to this is cheering for somebody from these two universities to lose because the collection of coaches they have in general are all pretty shitty when you look at their football and basketball teams. Calipari, Patino, Petrino, they're all terrible people. I would say the score of this game would be, I'm going to guess 41-24, Louisville. So they will not cover. The booze is going to be Buffalo Trace, but not bourbon. We're going to go vodka on this. Kentucky's pretty much only good for the Kentucky Derby and bourbon. Other than that, just like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to have any conversation with any of you. That being said, Buffalo Trace is known for the bourbon like Kentucky's known for their basketball, and both these teams are actually. So since we're getting their shittier product on the football field this weekend, we're going to just go ahead and punish ourselves and have their shittier product from Buffalo Trace and have the vodka as well. And do yourself a favor and drink it out of like a World's Best Mom mug like that Casey Anthony used to own, because she's the only person I could think that's worse than any of these people that are coaching at Louisville and Kentucky. I know that sounds kind of harsh because, like, yeah, murder's worse than, like, you know, cheating on your wife. Fine. But almost every single one of these coaches has put a team on probation, which is basically murder for your program. So, sorry, I'm not sorry. Second game, Missouri and Arkansas. Arkansas is an 8-point favorite. Honestly, they could be a 108-point favorite, and I would still fucking bet on them. I used to pull so hard for Missouri. I don't know what the fuck happened. They, just a downward spiral out of control. They're terrible now. They're 3-8. Not a lot of highlights in the year. They do somehow lead the SEC in offense, averaging over 500 yards a game, which is really impressive. Last week, they put up 740 yards against Tennessee, which is crazy impressive. So how in the literal fuck did they lose by 26 points? If you put up 740 yards of offense, you shouldn't lose in general. How would you lose by almost 4 touchdowns? That makes no fucking sense. Like, on paper, you look at that and it's like, yeah, they're clearly the better team. They should win by a landslide, you know, and then they lose in like a staggering defeat, like just a massive lopsided defeat. I don't know. The only thing I think of that is like you look at that on paper and it seems like such a simple concept. Like, yeah, they should win. It's like having, I don't know, 30 years of political experience on your resume, and then somehow managing to blow it to a celebrity reality TV host that's a misogynist and terrible human being um, in a landslide. So basically, what I'm saying is, in so many words, um, yeah, Missouri, you're basically Hillary Clinton, and I hope that you have to play the fucking game on Saturday in a pantsuit because that's what you deserve. So the drink we're gonna have for this game, I guess first off, the score, I'm gonna go Arkansas 38-24, so they will cover the spread. Um, the booze for this game, we're gonna go with a Holiday Mule, which is a lot like a Moscow Mule. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of it. Doesn't really matter. You really just need to down anything at this point to drown your sorrows if you're a Missouri fan. Also, drinking whatever is on tap for the holidays so you can avoid your family. Also, Holiday Mule absolutely has to be a nickname that someone's called Brett Belima at one of his family get-togethers. Like, he's your giant buffoon drunk uncle. Holiday Mule is pretty much a perfect way to describe him, just stumbling around someone's fucking house with like a Santa hat on every December. So, next game we're going to do is South Carolina at Clemson. I'm currently in Columbia, South Carolina. It's one of my favorite cities. That being said, their football team is shit. And so is this rivalry, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea how these people get so into it because it's just been about 120 years of mediocrity from both teams until someone named Dabo came along and turned everything around, which is sad in itself. This game isn't going to be fun to watch. Clemson's a 24-point favorite. They have been overrated and not great for most of the year, in my opinion. But Carolina's been hot garbage in the summer sun. So I'm going to say Clemson's going to cover. I just have no desire to watch this game. Winning bragging rights, like in the state of South Carolina, it's about as enjoyable and appetizing like this game as like going down to fucking Myrtle Beach and watching some asshole do Jimmy Buffett covers in like a hemp braided necklace and fucking straw cowboy hat all day, which sums up that entire town, to be honest. Anyway, it's just the bragging rights for the state, like ugh, like who cares if you're winning the battle of the Palmetto State, if you're the best team in South Carolina, that's like basically being like the best athlete or fastest runner at fucking Fat Camp in that movie Heavyweight. So, congratulations, Clemson. I mean, Gerald Gardner. You're probably gonna win. I'm gonna say 38-10, just because Carolina's been so horrifically bad for most of the year. They gave up 31 points to Western Carolina, which is terrible. Let's not excuse it. Terrible. And I think that Clemson's going to run through them pretty quickly. Anyway, the score will be 38-10. The booze, we'll say, just literally anything in your liquor cabinet. Like, I can vouch for that right now because I'm at home. And I just anything to subside the pain of all the political rants my family's going through and Thanksgiving in general. So just grab one of your mother's coffee cups. Probably says something like, not till I've had my coffee. Am I right, Stace? Heard that. And just pour whatever you can find in the liquor cabinet to help ease the pain. So, last game we're going to do, this is what I'm most excited about. This is the game that's on tonight, Thanksgiving night, LSU at Texas A&M. Now, both these teams have been less than stellar for the latter part of the season. Kevin Sumlin's record in November is fucking terrible. He is 14-9 after November 1st in his last 3 years at A&M, and compare that with 30-10 for the rest of the year. So he's not a strong finisher. Anyway, LSU, man, they came into the season with pretty high hopes. National championship, like within their grasp. Like I thought they were the best team in the country coming in. Heisman Trophy for Fournette. All of those things. At least beat Bama for the first time in 5 years. None of those things happened. They're 6-4, and Ed fucking Orgeron is their interim head coach right now. And that's the only reason I'm excited about this game, because of the potential for just incredible theatrics. Because he is a wild card if I've ever seen one. Like, and I hope he just goes full retard, full Orgeron, and just makes this, just goes out in a fucking blaze of glory. I honestly, like, I'm almost wet with excitement for it. I don't even know how else to say it. I've kind of fantasized about it. I can tell you, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I think is going to happen in the game. I think LSU will win 28-13. That's not important. Who cares? Fournette's not even playing. So what I think will actually happen in the game, my prediction, just to be really in depth about it. I'll say in the first quarter, Orgeron shows up, hammered ass drunk, with a turkey leg in each hand, probably not wearing shoes. At some point, he'll take his shirt off. After the first touchdown, where they go up 7-0, which I'm sure will be in the first quarter, I fully expect him to sprint into the end zone, grab the football from the ref, and then spike it, Gronk style. And then as soon as he gets a 15-yard penalty, probably do like a fake jack-off motion, getting himself another 15-yard penalty, and backing his team up. Doesn't matter because their defense is so great. That'll be the first quarter. Second quarter, I'm assuming after his left tackle or right tackle gives up a sack to Myles Garrett, he will then just pursue all of his dreams and go on field and challenge Myles Garrett to a series of one-on-ones, like they're in like a summer lineman camp, and probably win some. I'll be honest with you. Halftime, not really like a motivational halftime speech. I just assume it'll be like him, basically just like slurring words at a urinal, like that scene from A League of Their Own when Tom Hanks / Jimmy Dugan peed for like 8 straight minutes. Then they'll go back on the field, third quarter, power nap time. Power nap, probably get some like cheese sticks or something like that, so he can like amp it up for the fourth quarter. And then the fourth quarter is when the fun begins, because I fully expect him to do something just absolutely crazy and memorable, like turning off the lights, and then all of a sudden at the top of the stadium, there's Fournette with white and black face paint all over himself, carrying a baseball bat like Sting, coming into the field, into the ring, and announcing that he and Coach O are starting the Lou World Order, and they're going to be co-head coaches next year. Post-game, there's no chance he gets his press conference. Absolutely no chance, because he will have already gone back to LSU, barricaded himself, and locked himself in the actual coach's office, refusing to leave, and just camp out there. Camp out there with just a piss jar and bag of Snickers to hold him over, so he doesn't have to leave the room, and refuse to give up that coaching job. So, again, score doesn't matter. Orgeron on 100 to A&M, let's say 13. Who gives a shit? The boos, a lot, just a lot of everything, because this is a season to forget for both of you. As I always say, people from Louisiana don't give a shit what they put in their body. So, yeah, drink as much as you can and forget about how terrible this season was. And fingers crossed, you win on Saturday, so the biggest win of your entire year isn't getting Jimbo Fisher away from Florida State. Guys, that's all for part 1. I hope I have underwhelmed you like I feel like I did. So, like, share, whatever. Call me an idiot. Call me ugly. Whatever you want to do, I hope you enjoyed it.